Bliss or joy, the fragrance of freedom. Really, bliss or love, bliss or joy is the fragrance, is the blossoming out of freedom. Joy is not a consequence, bliss is not a consequence. Instead, it is the very happening. When you are totally free, when you are totally free, you are joyous, you are blissful, and that is what fulfillment is. This bliss is not happening as an effect. Freedom is bliss. Freedom is bliss and slavery is misery. Freedom is bliss, slavery is misery. The moment you feel limited because of whatever reason, because of the body, because of your conditionings, because of egocentric identities, you are miserable. Whenever you feel limited, you feel miserable. When you feel unlimited, misery disappears. Unlimited means you are not confined to your belief system, to egocentric identities, and that is what freedom means. So misery exists because of the barriers, because of the prison walls that you have created, the invisible prison walls that you have created around you. And bliss exists when all the prison walls, barriers are removed and you are in a no barrier land. You are a no barrier existence. Whenever you feel this freedom, joy happens to you, bliss happens to you. Even now, whenever you feel a certain freedom, even if it is not total, a different kind of a joy comes to you. You fall in love with somebody, a certain joy, a certain bliss happens to you in that moment. Why does it happen? Have you introspected? Really, whenever you are in love with somebody, you have tossed aside all attachments to the body in a deep sense. Now, in a deep sense, now the body of the other has also become your body. The two bodies have become one. Whenever you are in love with someone totally, you have tossed aside your attachment to the body in a deep sense. Your body, the body of the other has become your body also. You are not confined to your body alone. Somebody else's body has become your body. You are totally free to move into that person. Totally free to move into that person. You are not confined to your body. Somebody else's body has become your body. It has become your home. It has also become your abode. You can rest there. You feel a freedom. Now you can move into the other the other can move into you as if all the barriers have been removed. In a limited way, a barrier has fallen. You are more than before. Earlier you were limited, now you are more. When you love someone, when you love someone, you are really more than what you were before. Your being has increased, expanded. Your consciousness is not limited like it was before. It has reached a new realm. You feel a certain freedom in love. And for the first time, you have felt a certain freedom in love. Though it is not total, and sooner or later you will feel again confined, but it is the beginning. During that moment, you feel extended, but is still finite. So those who really know what love is are sooner or later bound to fall in the prayer. Those who have experienced the totality in love, their love becomes prayerful. There is no difference. Love does not remain love as you have known before. Instead, it becomes prayerful. Prayer means a greater love, a love that has expanded. Prayer means a love with the whole existence. As such as you know love, that is confined to certain aspects of the being of the person. Prayer means the whole existence, but it has to come through the other first. Now you know the secret. You know the key, the secret key, that you loved a person. The moment you loved, the door opened, barriers are dissolved, and at least for one person more, your being has expanded. Earlier your being was not expanded, it was confined within the confinements of the body and mind. Now you have transcended that limitation of the body and mind. You have, that realm has extended to the other person. Your love for that person. You have come out of your narrowness, the attachment to the body and to the mind and its attributes. The other person becomes the space within which you can move freely. At least for one more person, your being was expanded, increased. Now you know the secret key, and you fall in love with the whole existence, and one day you will fall into existence, total existence, and you will not be in the body. And the moment you open yourself for someone else, you are more. In deep love, you become bodiless. When you are in love with someone, you do not feel yourself as a body, as a mind. When you are not loved, when you are not in love, when you are not loved, That is the situation with most of the people. When you are not in love, you feel yourself more as a body. You become more and more aware of the body. The body becomes a burden that you have to carry. When you are loved, when you are loved, the body loses its weight. The gravitational force is not there. The body becomes, you become more and more of the body becomes a burden, you have to carry it. When you are loved or you know someone loves you, the body loses its weight. When you are loved or you are in love, you don't feel the gravitational pull. It has no effect on you. You can dance, you can fly really, and certainly you would have experienced that freedom when you feel love for someone or your love flows towards someone. The person also responds to that and feels a certain kind of a weight is lost. In deeper love, body is no more. But this happens in a limited way. But it is a beginning. Somewhere or the other you have to begin your journey of transcendence. The same can happen when you are in love with the whole existence. But it cannot happen directly. You have to go through some in a certain way. So when you love someone or someone loves you, you feel a difference. And when both love one another with that intensity, you would have experienced a moment you love someone very dearly, very deeply, but this love is not returning in that way. Then there is a situation when the person that you love so dearly is he or she also loves you in the same proportion or even more. There are no barriers between the two. There is total freedom. Total freedom. And as if all barriers have been removed, you are flowing into one another freely. That's why at times you mention that there is a total flowing into one another. This is the beginning. Then you can fall in love with the whole existence. And when you experience freedom to flow towards someone, and there is a response comes up, response of openness comes up from that person. It may be temporary, but that is the beginning. In love, joy or bliss comes to you. In love, joy and bliss flows out of you. It is not pleasure. Remember, joy is not pleasure. Pleasure comes to you through sense operation, sense functionings. And joy comes through non-sensuousness. Joy is non-sensuous. Bliss is non-sensuous. Pleasure comes to you through the body. Joy or bliss comes to you when you are not the body. You have transcended beyond the body. This difference you have to know very well. When you are. Pleasure comes to you through the body, through the sense perception, through the sense organs. But joy or bliss comes to you not through the body, not through the senses, but something that you cannot explain as yet. For a moment, body has disappeared and you are simply consciousness. Joy or bliss is the outcome of freedom, and freedom is consciousness. Then joy comes to you. Body has disappeared. Introspect. You have experienced such moments when the interaction is out of consciousness, not body to body. Joy comes to you. When you are the body, pleasure can happen to you. And love is not pleasure. Pleasure always happens through the body. Pain is possible, pleasure is possible through the body. Joy is possible only when you are not the body. It happens ordinarily also, and that too accidentally. You are listening to the music and suddenly gravitation is lost. You are so absorbed in it. You have forgotten the body. You are filled with the music and you have become one with the music. One with the music. There is not a listener to it. The listener and the listened, the subject and object have become one. At times it happens. At times through your so-called love making, you experience that. Only that time music exists. You are no more. You have expanded. Now you are flowing with musical notes. Now there is no limit to you. The notes are dissolving into silence and you are dissolving into the silence with them. You would have, those who are in the field of music, they would know that. Notes are dissolving into the silence, fading into the silence, and you too are dissolving into that silence. With them, the body is forgotten. When the body is forgotten, it is tossed aside unknowingly, unconsciously. Joy happens to you. Through Tantra and Yoga, you can do it methodologically. Then it is not an accident. Then you are the master of it. Then it is not happening to you. Then you know the key. The key is in your hand and you can open the door whenever you want. This at times happens to you. And when you have experienced the spontaneity and totality in love, you have gotten the key. The two bodies have disappeared. You have the key in your hand and you can open the door whenever you want. You can open the door and you can keep the door open forever and throw away the key. No need to close the door again. Now, experience if this is happening to you. The door are permanently open. The key you have thrown. There is no barrier. Joy happens in ordinary life as well, but you don't know how it happens. The happening is always when you are not the body. Remember this. So, whenever you again feel any moment of joy, become aware of whether you are the body in that moment or not. You will not be. Whenever joy is, wherever joy is, wherever bliss is, body is no more. Not that body disappears, the body remains, but you are not attached to it. And now, this is what begins to happen at a certain stage. And then one day it becomes as if you have thrown the key, the doors are open, and the attachment to the body are tossed. You are not attached to it, you are not tethered to it, you have jumped out of the body. You may have jumped out of it because of music. You may have jumped out because of a beautiful sunrise. You may have jumped out because the child was laughing. You may have jumped out because you were in love. Whatsoever be the cause, the moment you are jumped out of the attachment to the body, even for a moment, out of the body is there, but tossed aside. You became forgetful, unaware of the presence of the body in that moment. You have taken a flight. Through this technique, you can know the one who is everywhere, cannot be miserable. Cannot be miserable. That person is joyous. He is embodiment of joy or bliss. So the more you become confined, the more miserable you will be. Expand, push your boundaries away. And whenever you can leave the body aside, far away. You look into the sky, the clouds floating. Move with the clouds. Leave the body on the earth and you start floating with the clouds. You are in your room. Tossed aside all attachments to it. Start floating with love, with clouds. The moon is there. Move with the moon so that in that moment you can forget the body. Do not miss the opportunity. Go on a journey and then you will become accustomed to what it means to be out of the body. I am speaking of this in a generalized manner. But if you understand, if you have experienced this on your own, you will remember the one that you are in total love with. And even if you are alone, you are flying with that person. You are floating. You have tossed away the body. And this is only a question of attention. Attachment is a question of attention. If you pay attention to the body, you are attached. If attention has moved, so your attention has moved from the body to that presence. You are not attached to the body. Sometimes try to experience it. If you want to know more about you, you can give me a call, because in live streaming, I cannot speak in a personalized manner. It is the generalized version of a personalized experience. Look, for example, you are playing on the sports ground, you are playing hockey, volleyball, or something else. When you are in deep play, when you are deep in play, your attention is not on the body. Someone hits your feet, the blood is flowing, but you are not aware. Pain is there, but you are not there. The blood is flowing, but you are out of the body. Your consciousness, your attention may be flying with the ball, may be running with the ball. Your attention is somewhere else. The game finishes. Suddenly you come back to the body, and the blood is there along with the pain. And you wonder how it happened, when it happened, and how it happened, and how you were not aware of it. When you are alone and you are thinking about your beloved, you have tossed the body, attachment to the body, you experience the same thing. To be in the body, your attention needs to be there. So remember, wherever your attention is, you are there. When, as I said in the play of the game, something is hit your feet, there is pain, there is blood maybe coming out, but your attention is somewhere else, so you will not feel that. If your attention is in the clouds, you are there. If your attention is in the flowers, you are there. If your attention is in the money, you are there. Your attention is your being. And if your attention is nowhere, in particular, you are everywhere. So the whole process of meditation is to be in such a state of consciousness where your attention is nowhere confined. There is no object. There is no object to it. When there is no object, there is no body to you. Your attention creates the body. Wherever your attention is, that's where you are. Your attention as such is your body, and when your attention is nowhere, you are everywhere. Joy happens, bliss happens. It is not good to say it happens to you. You are it. You are the happiness. It cannot leave you now. It is your being. Freedom is joy. That is why we all hanker, we all aspire for freedom. The moment freedom is, you can leave the body any moment. You can toss your attachments to it, to enter, to fly with the clouds or flow with the music. Then there is total freedom, there is bliss, there is joy. Enough.